Hello, everybody, and welcome to another album review. Today I'll be reviewing The Battle at Garden's Gate by Greta Van Fleet. This is definitely a different kind of album for me to review. I'm used to doing older progressive rock from the 70s, and here I am now doing the most modern rock you can get. And by modern, I mean 6 days ago. This album came out 6 days ago, and I figured, well, at the time of this recording, and I figured it'd be really cool to do an album on something very new, the new wave of rock, modern rock. I had to do a little bit of background research on Greta Van Fleet. I've heard their stuff from a couple years ago, and I really, really enjoyed it. And so I thought I'd look them up to see what they were really about. They're a rock band formed in 2012 from Frankenmuth, Michigan, very, very close to where I grew up. So I immediately had an affinity with the band, and I was like, dang, I like you guys already. Formed by I assume, Kishka brothers, Josh, Jake, and Sam. Josh on vocals, Jake on guitar, Sam on bass. The current drummer, they had a previous drummer, but the current drummer on this album is Danny Wagner. And like I said before, this album came out about a week ago. I'm very excited to talk about it because I really, really like this. I was going to only talk about a few of the songs to see which ones stood out, but all of them ended up standing out to me in a certain way. So I figure I'll talk about every single one of them very briefly. A Heat Above. This is actually what made me want to do an album review on this. I heard this. I saw that Greta Van Fleet came out with a new album, and I was like, oh, dang, I know them. They're pretty cool, right? And so I listened to it. I was like, I want to talk about this. I got to tell somebody about this, so why not tell you guys? And I'm excited to tell you about it. Heat Above, I thought it was a great start to this album. It was a mix of kind of long-form prog rock and classic 70s rock. I thought it was perfect. There's Josh's amazing soaring vocals. It's very classic Greta Van Fleet. That's definitely what they'll be known for years from now. This feels like a fresh track because in the past week, I've listened to a bunch of their other stuff to get context of what they're all about. And this album seems to be very different, a departure from the other stuff they used to do. In total, this track was fine. Musically, it's great. The breakdown sections were fine, but the choruses really hit. The vocals, the background, the organ-y type instrument in the background, great. So it was a great start. Following it up with My Way, Soon. It's a nice little boppy track. It really moves itself along. What I really like pacing in music. I think that if a song really, really captures you and keeps you entranced with it, it has a nice pace and it really goes for it. This was really nice and boppy. I found myself bopping along to it, moving along with the music. So if you got me doing that, I think it's a pretty good track. Broken Bells. I saw that they had a music video of this, I think. Musically, this track was really nice, but as I talked about how pacing was important, I felt that this kind of dragged in the beginning. At the very end, there's a really nice guitar solo playoff type thing, and the guitar playing and like just the musicality of the group is really good on this album. This song dragged a bit for me, but Broken Bells, yeah, it was a pretty decent track. I thought it was fine. Built by Nations. This came out swinging. I wasn't expecting it. After one that kind of dragged a little bit, kind of started to lose my attention, this really, really brought it back. It had great pacing, as I talked about before. You could feel some sort of, I hate to use like a cliche word, but like kind of like the angst behind it. You can feel it. There's amazing instrumental lines playing off of each other. I really just love the feel, the vibe of this track. I thought Built by Nations, great track. The next two I had less to say about, but I figured were important to mention. Age of Machine had an interesting main motif, but it felt like it kind of dragged on for a while. I just like listening to what they have to do because I think it's really interesting to see what modern rock is because I'm a very, very big hard rock fan. That's really much, that's very much what I listen to all the time. So I like to see what's going on with it now. And it was fine. Age of Machine was fine. Tears of Rain, I really liked this one. There's not much to say about it besides the fact that I liked that the guitars and vocals kind of mimicked each other, having similar melody lines. Short, sweet, slow track. Liked it. It was good. And then these two semi-unnotable tracks are followed up with my favorite one on the album, Stardust Chords. This opened up and I was like, they found something. They really, really did something. It was my favorite on the track, on the album, definitely. I love the instrumentals on this. I love the way the piece was arranged. Each part is pivotal on moving the melody and the piece forward. Again, pacing, amazing. I think it's really, really experimental in a way. I think it was a great direction for them. I like that this kind of Greta Van Fleet. I think that was really cool. Really cool. I really like Stardust Chords. I feel like I'm rambling because I'm trying to think of words, how to form how much I really, really enjoyed this track. Because as soon as I heard it, added it right to my hard rock playlist because dang, it was really good. Light My Love, really lighter track, really good one. Powerful vocals. I think to sum up these last couple ones, without going into heavy detail, the instrumentals are amazing. The guitar player, forget his name. It wasn't Josh. It was Jack. John. Oh, I'll put it on screen. Oh, I'm an idiot. But yeah, the instrumentals is amazing. The vocals playing on top of these melodies is fantastic, and that's really what this whole album really is. Caravel had a more of a grunge style, but had these basics that I just mentioned of great instrumentals. The Barbarians, again, they were all slightly different. This one had a tough, harder beat, but again, had that amazing melody line with these soaring vocals, which kind of seems to be their niche, but do really good at it. The last two tracks, Trip the Fantastic Light and Wait the Dreams, were great. Trip the Fantastic Light was kind of a chill little rockin' track, and The Weight of Dreams was more of a long form, progressive rock type style, I guess, is what I could equate it to. It was darker and heavier. Definitely pulled influence from like late 90s, early 2000s rock. Great track. In total, I think these guys are the best of modern rock. Say what you want about them being Zeppelin ripoffs or blah blah blah, whatever. I like to take them for what they are. I don't want to have to compare them to older people. Like when I was listening to these, there was tracks I'm like, oh, this reminds me of blank, but I didn't want to do that. I wanted to think of them as what they are and what they are today. And I think that they're an amazing modern rock group. Homages to the old while moving forward with their own style. Great stuff from Greta Van Fleet. Would definitely recommend you check it out and keep an eye on them, because if this is the direction they're going, I have a feeling they're going on to bigger and better things. I love this group now. I will definitely be keeping tabs on them and seeing what they got going on in the future. So yeah, thanks so much for watching my little review on this real quick. Yeah, please be sure to subscribe if you liked it, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.